Okay. Okay, so concurrent views. Hi guys, so if you're here, you can just say hi in the chat. Oh, nice, nice. Kingsley, where are you joining from? Hi, Kingsley. Kingsley George. Where are you joining from? If you're just joining, welcome to the scholarship room. Tell your friends, your African friends, this is not just for Nigerians. So if you know a Ghanaian, Kenyan, tell them to join. Oh, Uyo, that's nice. That's nice. Hi, Ibrahim. How are you doing? I think we'll give some time, maybe like 5 minutes more. Let's see. 5 to 10 minutes, people can join. Ibrahim, where are you joining from? Tell your. Oh, Madiguri, nice, 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 nice. Or your state. Hmm. Wow, that's nice. So we have people from different parts of Nigeria. It's good. The internet is really connecting us. So, like I said, if you have other African friends, not necessarily from Nigeria, you know someone from Tanzania, Zimbabwe, they should be here. Don't hide this from them. So, what are you guys looking forward to? What do you want? So, yeah. Oh my God, I haven't pronounced that pronunciation. What do you want to hear from our speaker? What do you want to hear from our three-time scholar? What have you? If you've tried applying for Mastercard before, what do you think the issue was? Was it your essay? Oh, nice, Paul. Great, you're joining from Jos. That's good. So was it your essay or is this your first time hearing about Mastercard scholarship, or maybe you're interested in fully funded scholarship and then you came across Mastercard scholarship? So what questions do you have? Application essays. My God, that seems to be the major issue when it comes to scholarship. Application essays. Sure you've heard of what they call it again. Personal statement, statement of purpose, every single thing. Which other one? Letter of intent. Oh my, there are lots. So what else? Okay, Mohammed said application essays. Who else? Is this your first time hearing about Mastercard scholarship, or have you applied before? Not seeing any other person. No. Seems like we all know we all know about Mastercard, or we don't know how to write our essays. Then Mastercard is probably just a walkover. Oh, interview. Oh my, interview is actually another serious thing. Like you can write your essays and then they shortlist you for the interview, but then when you go there, you need to come and start thinking, oh, how do I present myself? How should I answer those questions? So yeah, interview presentation is very valid. Oh, that's nice. Ibrahim, this is your first time. Yeah, this is your first time applying. That'll be then you should really listen up so that you just do it once. You know, there are people that apply for scholarship once and they get it on their first try. So who knows? This might be your first time. So if you're hearing about Mastercard, Foundation Scholarship for the first time. Listen up to this so that you just apply once and then you'll be one of all those people that will come online and be like, oh, I applied for this scholarship once and I got it. Okay. So, oh, yeah, we have those of us that have heard about Mastercard Foundation Scholarship a lot. But I think the major issue about Mastercard Foundation Scholarship is that you now start reading a long list of instructions that tell you, oh, go to the university page, apply, and then they tell you, oh, if you're shortlisted, like the process in itself sometimes is not straightforward. But that's why we have a speaker here to like tell us how to go the right way, because I know I've come across one where they ask you to attend a webinar and you're like, okay, if I don't attend the webinar, would I not be allowed to apply for the scholarship? So Mastercard Foundation Scholarship. But the good thing about it is that if you get something like this, everything is covered. Like imagine that. Nothing to worry about. So let's see, we have 17 people here. You guys, come on now. For PTDF, you were more than this. Mastercard is, let me not say Mastercard is better than PTDF, but it's at the same level with PTDF, if not even more. At least you're getting a new laptop. So unlike PTDF, nobody's giving you a laptop. Your guy, tell your people to join. And who knows, you might be going to one of the top 10 universities. With something like Mastercard Foundation, you can be going to University of Edinburgh. That's more about one of, I think, top 50, if not even like top 40. You can be going to Cambridge, University of California, Berkeley, a lot of top universities. So you need to be here. You need to hear what our scholar has to tell you. Come on, 17. Okay, let's say 20. Okay, 18. Come on, you guys, you can do it. Post it on your WhatsApp status. Let your friends know. Let them benefit too. So that when you two you're traveling, everybody's traveling with you. You're not traveling alone. $18. Come on, guys. I'm not starting to you guys at 20, at least 20. This thing is PTDF, you guys were hey. Now wow. Is it because the MasterCard is not yet open yet? Because I know if the scholarship is open, this place will be booming. Hi, Debbie. Where are you joining from? And is this your first time hearing about the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship? One more minute and we'll need to start. Oh, from Uyo. We have a lot of people from Uyo here. Oh. Hey, nobody from Lagos. Wow, nobody from Abuja. That's interesting. Okay, so we need to start now. We need to start. Okay, wow, nice. At least 20. Okay, nice. Debbie, you're from Lagos. Great. Okay, guys, so we have to start, but still post on your status so that people can still join. There's always something to gain, and it's best to prepare for scholarships before they open. Nice. Welcome, David. Okay, so welcome again to the Mastercard or to our first Mastercard Foundation Scholarship webinar. If this is your first time, welcome to the scholarship room. Here we do basically scholarship webinars that would prepare you to apply for that scholarship. And what we're trying to do now is make sure that you apply for elite scholarships like Mastercard Foundation before they open. You want to be prepared, not preparing when the scholarship is open. Okay, so, and if you're just new, please subscribe to the Scholarship Room for more sessions like this. And we hope that you would enjoy this session and also gain something. So have your notepad, have your pens. There might be something that you want to jot down. We have a 3-time scholar with us. Okay, so who is our scholar? Well, we have Miss, wait, is it Miss or Miss? Well, let's go with Miss. So yeah, Mbazi. Forgive me for getting the pronunciation wrong, but she's from Uganda. So that's why I told you guys, invite your other African friends. Yeah, so she's from Uganda and she's like, I'll continue to say she's a 3 times Mastercard Foundation Scholar. It just surprises me every time. She got it for her A levels, bachelor's, and her postgraduate. And her postgraduate is at University of Edinburgh. So if you know University of Edinburgh, you know it's one of the top universities in the world. So imagine getting into there under a scholarship. Fantastic. So we know that from when it comes to scholarship, you get a lot of rejection, and even sometimes you don't know how to go about the application process, especially when the website is not really helping you. The essays, things like Chevening and even Mastercard, you have so many essays to write. You're seeing motivational letter, personal statements, and how it should look like, how you should structure it. And if you're going for an interview, how you should respond during the interview. So I know we have a lot of questions on that. And that's why we have our scholar here to help us answer that. So I think my first question, so yeah, please forgive me, is what is the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship really like?
Thank you, Esther. You're welcome, everyone who is part of the scholarship room. Esther, thank you for this initiative. It is really helpful. I wish people could join and join and join and also subscribe. So, I would say the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship is everything.
Hmm.
Once you get it, you're a princess, you're
Wow.
a king. Everything just finds you where you are. All you have to do is to show up for classes. That's it. Even when you just call and say, "Oh, I have a problem, I need some little guidance or counseling," they will just give you a counselor right away.
Wow.
You please, you should test this. You should test this. And it really makes you love to learn because I was saying, oh, if I get my first degree, I'll never go back. But guys, when I tested what the scholarship is about, I was like, I want to be a Mastercard Foundation Scholar forever and ever. Because what is this now? I'm paid. I go to class. They give me everything, laptops, stipend, counseling. I travel. You can be there and they say, we have selected you to go to Singapore for this. Like, what? I didn't apply for anything. Oh, like you're deserving this, and please send your travel documents. Like, okay, Mastercard Foundation. When I talk about it, I'm really excited because they will make sure you are well. They
Wow.
give you a life insurance that covers everything. Everything. If you decide to take on the online thing, they'll pay for your English exam, they'll pay for your internet, they'll make sure they send you money for the laptop. They will make sure you get in touch with those lecturers. You know, those hard lecturers to meet, those big people who make themselves unavailable. You, as a Mastercard Foundation scholar, they're just one call away for you
Wow.
because they are part of the counselors, they are part of the mentors of the program. So, yeah, please, it's everything. I would wish for everyone here to test it. Yeah.
Oh my God. It sounds spectacular. like I think what always gets me is the laptop part, because hardly, like, most fully funded scholarships really don't give people laptops. Like, so it's something that always catching me, like they give you laptop, and then, like, I know I saw a friend that got into Cambridge. They did like a dinner, like, let's say, like an introductory dinner or something like that for people that got the scholarship. And I was like, wait, what? People scholarships do that?
Yeah,
Wow.
they really do. They can even come to check on you once in a while. They make those dinners. I have a lot. We've done those dinners, many of them. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow,
But the most interesting part to
yeah.
me, because I like traveling, I've moved countries because of this scholarship.
Wow.
Yes.
During the postgraduate.
During the undergraduate, during the
Wow.
postgraduate, actually, during the postgraduate, I went to South Africa. I also had to go to the Edinburgh, UK itself, because I had opted for online since I had started working already. I was like, so after the scholarship, what about my job? So I was a bit confused when I got that scholarship. I had just gotten a very big contract, and then
Mm,
the scholarship comes in. And I was like, okay, so I'm going. And then I come back, will I have a job? Or so I had to take a decision to apply for online. Yeah, but you get a chance to go attend graduation if you're online. And those people who go to study there, the in person people, they can even choose to go do placements and internships in other countries. We had people who were doing internships, who were doing their internships in Mexico. We had people who were doing their internships in, I don't remember the country. So they even give them options to look for where you can practice perfectly from. You are funded to go do your internships from there. So you can leave your country, go to Edinburgh, and then go to another country to do an internship. Then you come back. Then, guys, everyone needs this.
oh my God, guys, are
Yeah.
you hearing this? If you really want something like that, let me just see you in the comments. Like, I want this kind of scholarship. I want this princess treatment, because oh my God, that's how scholarship should be. Exactly. Like,
Yes.
everything should be funded. Sponsored. Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's massive. So I wanted to ask, can you take us through, like, I know we have undergraduates here, graduates.
Mm-hmm.
So can you take us through, like, maybe how did you get it for, like, your bachelor's, and then, like, how did you get it for your postgraduate, and then we go into, like, the application process and others. So just tell us
Okay.
your own experience.
Okay, so for A levels, how did I get it for A levels? Let me start from there. I didn't know that it was actually the Mastercard Foundation because
Mm.
they had partnered with an organization that was in banking, something. So when they advertised, I had gone to my auntie in the village, deep down. You know, when you finished your O level, you're like, I'm done with school, no money, I'm done. So this is it. So let me go find something else to do. So I wake up and I hear a village, those village radios, like, oh, those who need it, we have people coming in. They are giving out scholarships. If you have a first grade at O level, please try them out. I was like, oh, and then my auntie was like, no, those guys are scammers. Don't go. What? I told her, you know what, auntie, tomorrow I'm going. So I woke up very early, made copies of my results. I had left them, so they brought them up. I made copies and then I went. We did interviews. I gave up. I started staying with my auntie's children, taking care of the children. She was going to work. And then people started A level, like school opened for A level for that year. And I had given up already. So after 1 week, my grandfather calls me, like, do you know you're in the news? Did you buy today's news? I told him, how can I access news this side? He's like, please, you are, if I'm not mistaken, this is your name and you are the one in the news. You've been given a scholarship. Guys, I traveled that day to come back. I traveled that day and then reaching, I was in the news. They had called us even they called us the day after the news was published. We went and then they gave us schools that they work with, and these are the top schools in the country. Mastercard Foundation is top notch, top schools in the country. And I was like, am I the one going to those schools? Like, yes, please choose one. I chose a school. I did biology, chemistry, and mathematics. And then I did well. I got a government sponsorship to go for my bachelor's. But and if you get a government scholarship, they put you off Mastercard. Like they don't consider you even when you apply. I was like, okay, I will not take the government thing. My mother's like, girl, you don't have money. Go. I told her, mother, they paid for us hostels, they bought mattresses, they bought pencils, they bought books, they bought textbooks, they gave us teachers to tutor us after school, they gave us mentors, they would come and check in, and mostly they would give us money. I had a joint account with my mother. Honestly, I don't know where that money went, but they would give us money. So I was like, then she told me, you go for the government. I told her mother, I'm not going for the government. I personally want to do medicine, and the government had given me agricultural business management something. I was like, no, what is this? So I didn't. So I told her mother, you know what? Let me go for private sponsorship. She was
Mm.
like, I don't have money. I told her, I mean, I want medicine. You know, at that age,
Yeah.
you're not understanding what your parents are going through. So I went for the private. She paid it for only one semester. We failed. I went back home.
Mm.
But I was waiting for Mastercard to advertise again. They advertised. I applied, but now this particular moment, the only program I would qualify for was the Bachelor of Science with Education as a teacher. So I was like, as long as it's a Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, I will take it. Not wanting to be a teacher, I just accepted. I went. They gave me a laptop. Wow.
Mm.
They gave me a mattress. Oh, they gave me money to buy a mattress. They
Wow.
gave us they gave us materials to use. They also introduced us, just like the way you did the dinner, the orientation,
Yeah.
everything. And then I went through my bachelor's. I managed to get a 4.12 out of 5.
Mm.
Guys, one thing I would love to say, Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, however much they bring in people, they want good performers. They really want good performers. So if you find yourself not having maybe 75% and above, it is really hard to take you on. That is the hardest bit because they prefer good performers. They believe that what they input in you or what they're going to invest in you should be worth it. So I was working and aiming to get the Mastercard Foundation scholarship. At my postgraduate, I got a 4.12 out of 5. That's 82%, I
Yeah.
guess. And then guess what? I started applying for the postgraduate. I started applying for the masters, let me say masters. I applied at the University of Pretoria. I didn't get.
Really?
I applied at the University of Cambridge. They gave me the admission, but not the scholarship.
Huh.
I applied at the Earth University. What Earth University undergraduate? I was like, okay, let me go do another undergraduate. If they're not giving me, what am I aiming at? To be a Mastercard Foundation Scholar. That's how spoiled I was. They did give me.
Mm.
I applied for McGill. They didn't give me. I applied Arizona State. Those ones didn't even respond. I don't know. They're like, why are we even responding to this one? They did give me. I applied. They didn't give me. I applied for the second time. Now I've added chevening on my applications. Like, okay, Mastercard people don't want me anymore. Let me try chevening. Oh, Jesus Christ. Those ones also didn't give me. I applied for the it's called Equity and it's at the University of Manchester.
Mm.
Some scholarship. I didn't get. Oh, I applied for the third time. I didn't get. So
Ah,
when it reached that moment, I was like, now I'm going to do the masters for myself because I had, as a teacher, I had started working in certain schools, so I was collecting my money. I was like, okay, I don't want this journey of my education to have big gaps. So
yeah.
let me enroll for a master's. I enrolled for a master's in education administration because I just want to be top administrators of schools. So I started studying. So here comes Mastercard Foundation at the University of Edinburgh advertising again. I applied and I put that I am a student. So why did I do a diploma? Was you a student of masters or you have a master's, you're not allowed to apply for another master's under any Mastercard Foundation uh, university. You're not. You have. So let others also get that chance to study. That's if they find out, even if you're having the scholarship already, they put you off. You're not
Wow.
supposed to. Yes. So you have to be honest. I told them I'm a student of masters. So that's why I'm applying for a postgraduate diploma in global challenges. But what was I doing wrong? Or what was I doing in the past applications, the 2 years? I was using AI. Honestly, yes, I would write my when it came to essays, I would write, but I would put to. Can you please rephrase this to a certain English that you know, wanting to be fancy? Like, okay, we regret to tell you that like I wrote something impressing. Why didn't you give me? They didn't. So here I had lost hope. But how
Yeah.
did I apply? I sat down, wrote my personal statement with my own little English, not knowing very well after all they will not give me. Why am I even bothering? Let me just apply. And then I wrote my little English. My name is this. Then I put my impact. I sent. I gave up. I stayed on my master's. We had exams. I was in the exam period. I get an email. You've been invited for an interview. What? With my essay? Is that what you really want? Like, I attended the interview. It was a group interview. You're like 6 people. Yes, for University of Edinburgh, it's a group interview. They're interviewing like 6 people at once.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So you talk, after talking, the other person talks. Then after you comment about each other's presentation.
What?
Yes, yes. But it's like a conversation.
Mm.
Oh yeah, an impact. They ask you questions. For example, how have you impacted your community in Uganda? There's such questions, and then you respond. So other people give feedback, then they respond to you. So that's how the interview was. And then I get this email that I got the scholarship. I was like, now how am I going to handle my master's and the postgraduate diploma at the same time? Why at this time? What should I do? Yeah, it's really demanding, but it's worth it. Yeah, that's how I got. But my key points and what I learned is that they want authenticity. They want you. They want you writing, not Grammarly, not AI, not whatever. They want you, your English that you have. And The way you explain words, that's what they want. Simplicity, not those huge vocabulary words that people have never heard of. That's simply what they want. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Honestly, this is a lot. I think the major thing that I really want you to talk on is about that rejection because you apply for so many scholarships, so at some point you're bound to get rejection. So how did you handle like the multiple rejections from the same scholarship body? How did you do it?
I had actually, how did I handle? I had a group of three people. We were applying together. I was
Mm.
not applying alone, and we are getting rejected together. So you say, girl, they rejected me. What? Even me? You laugh about it. What is wrong with these people? And then you move on. So what helped me? We were a group. So I would advise people not to be selfish when they're applying. Get a friend. Even if they get and you don't get, at least you've seen that they can give. So you
Yeah.
also have a chance to get next time. So handling rejection, be part of a group, and then get to know that you're not the first person to go through this. You're going to get rejected, and it does not mean that you're not enough. There is
Mm,
something you're not doing that others are doing. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Wow. Honestly, rejection can be hard, but guys, you heard it. Don't be selfish about your application or that so many scholarships that you're applying to. You can get at least two people. Just know, okay, oh, are you applying to this scholarship too? Let's apply together. And if one person
Yes.
gets it, you can always still learn from the other person. In fact, the person can guide you, which is
Mm.
far easier. So, wow. And another thing that got me was that you applied for different Mastercard Foundation scholarships. So it makes me
Yeah.
know that you know a lot about how the application process is. And I think that's something that people really have an issue with. So if you can take us through that, at least like based on how you did the formal application, especially for like McGill, Arizona, and like Edinburgh and those universities, you can take us through the application process. How is it like? How do the people apply?
Okay. Thank you. So different universities have different application processes. Some of them want you to first apply for the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship. Once you get it, just like the University of Edinburgh, once you get the scholarship, you apply for admission. Because in the university application, they ask you how you're going to fund yourself. So if you have the scholarship, you just write, I have the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship. So trust me, admission is guaranteed. Yes. So that's the University of Edinburgh. Others want you to first apply for the university admission. Once you're admitted, then you proceed to the Mastercard Foundation application. Then others put the Mastercard Foundation application into the university application, just like the University of Cambridge. You just apply at once. You start applying both to the university and the scholarship. Yes, so I can say they are different application processes. And all you have to do, please sit down and read every process that they want you to do. Because some of them would want you to first attend a webinar before they send you an application link. And if you don't attend it, you will not get the link. So you will not apply. So once you say and identify that this is the university I want to apply to, follow up closely on their social handles. Follow up closely once they advertise what do they want and what are the dates that they are meeting people to talk about what they expect in an applicant, because all of them set up webinars for their application processes. So
Hmm.
I cannot say that this university, you will want this and this and this,
Yeah.
because it's just a mixture of everything. All you have to do is to have all your documents ready and to have recommenders that are ready to put in recommendations on time. and to also avoid recommenders who use personal emails. Sawya@gmail.com. I can say that Esther is a good student. She has been my student. Are you really a lecturer, or do you really work with any organization? Why don't you use your organizational email? So get ready to have, I know recommenders can get tired. Imagine applying for 7 scholarships you're not going through, and you're disturbing this one person. Can you also recommend me on this? Can you also please? I beg you. It is really disturbing, but I would advise you to, first of all, check where you're eligible. One of the things are the challenges I faced. Since I only wanted the scholarship, I was going for everything. This one I'll apply, even this one, even this one. Have they advertised? That one I'll also apply. You'd not you've not seen whether you are eligible for the programs that are open at that particular university. You've not seen if they will take you on or not. So you realize that some universities take first class people. I would want you to go and check people who say, guys, thank God I've won the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship at the University of Cambridge or University of British Columbia. Just open their LinkedIn profile and check. If you don't find the word first class, then it will be a very, very good second class upper. So these universities are specific. So you have to be honest yourself and look for where you can get admitted or where you can get the scholarship, not just saying, I'm applying, they are rejecting me. Are you part of the community they would want to take on or not? So that's really a big thing. Yeah.
Wow, I really feel you that eligibility is very important. Like you see a scholarship and you're very excited. There was one going on that was British Council, and at first you're excited, but then you check the eligibility and you're not even eligible for it. So you now take up the stress to start applying, and it feels
Yes.
like, honestly, like looking at the eligibility of every scholarship is very important. And interesting, so for Edinburgh, if I got you right, you have to apply for Mastercard before applying for the scholarship. That sounds far better. At least if you have a
Yes.
scholarship, okay, you can apply for postgraduate. But if you don't have it, try it.
Yes. They can even help you to apply to the university.
Oh, that's
Yes, once you have the scholarship, they will follow up. Can you apply? This is the link. They even set up people to do Zoom meetings if you are facing any challenges. They are really supportive because they know you are our scholar right now, and all we want you to do is to get an admission at the university.
wow. Wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
And just one more question, because University of Pretoria is open now. So is the application like do you have to apply for the university before applying for the scholarship, or you apply for the scholarship before the university?
Which one?
University of Pretoria, South Africa.
Oh, University of Victoria. They want the university admission
Oh my
first.
God.
Yes. And it is really some I won't say hard. It's really some challenging process because you have to send in your results. They have a certifying board. It's called SACA in South Africa. You send your results. They grade them in their way, in the South African way, and they see if you really can get admitted. So you send. There is a certain amount you pay. Yeah.
Ah,
Yes, there is a certain amount you pay, but after being confirmed that you can or you are eligible to get a place or your results are authentic, actually, then they can admit you. And then universities that need application fee first, and they need you to apply to the university, you do apply. But once you get the foundation scholarship, they refund your money.
oh wow. Ah,
Yes, every expenditure that you incur during the process, once you get that scholar title, your money gets back to you.
wow. That's
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing. So guys,
Yes.
as
But
you
for
hear
the
point,
University of Edinburgh,
Hmm.
I don't remember paying anything. Some universities are free for application.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
And
interesting.
then they ask for the English test, but
Yeah,
they
English
paid
test.
for us because now you've already won the scholarship. So they paid for the English. You just went and did it. Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God. In that case, University of Edinburgh. So, guys, you might want to target applying for Mastercard Foundation Scholarship for the University of Edinburgh, especially for those of you that don't want to be paying for like IELTS or TOEFL before getting a scholarship.
Yes.
So,
For that one, you don't have to worry about that. Just get the scholarship. Everything else will come to you.
wow. So,
Yes.
guys, as you're listening, if you're taking notes, you can drop them in the chat. Let's see, what are you gaining from this section? What's the new insight you've gotten just from this amount of time? You've not even gone in yet, but what are you getting? What new insight have you had? And are you still looking towards maybe University of Cambridge? Are you looking at University of Edinburgh? Because me, I'm looking at University of Edinburgh now. I'm looking at that university, honestly. So, guys, just drop it in the chat. If you all have questions too, as we are discussing, you can just drop it there and we'll take it after we're done with the questions. Okay. So, yeah, don't worry, Debbie. We're going to go into the essay, to the SOP part. But before that, I think I wanted to ask another question. Is there like any part like okay, let me before I ask that question. When during the application, apart from like SOP or motivation letter and all that is needed, is there like any other documents that is maybe particular to just Mastercard that is really needed?
Okay. Some universities or some applications for the Mastercard would want proof of your earnings. You're saying you're economically disadvantaged. So they would want proof of your earnings. Maybe we are in Nigeria, but we pay rent of this amount. My mother does this, my father does this, and to also prove that you went through the other education sectors behind you through maybe a scholarship, through struggles as a person. So you have to prove that you are really set or you are really part of the community that should receive this, not someone's daughter, a rich person who is getting this scholarship. So, apart from your good grades, what else do you have that shows that you really need this scholarship? We want it to get to those people who need it. So you need it for your yearly earnings, maybe their money, for example, in pounds or euros. What are your yearly earnings? How have you managed to go through your education? How have you managed to treat yourself when you're sick? They are really specific because at my first degree at the bachelor's, they even came to my home. Yes, they
Wow.
came to my home and they just come because when you're applying, you put your location. So they just wake up and come for you not to just to get out your chairs and then bring other chairs and then what. Yeah. Like, hi, do you know this person? They have your photo. Yes, that is my daughter. Okay. We are people from the Mastercard Foundation scholarship at this university and we've come to check the condition of the home. Does it match with the application? But she said she's her mother is a tailor and her father is a peasant farmer. Is it true? So they really go on to audit all of that. So whatever you give in, you have to be honest or you have to keep your word. Even in interviews, a question can come in when someone is holding your application and they just want you to say exactly what is on your application form to be authentic. So,
Wow.
and then what else do they ask for? They ask for recommenders. Yeah, that is very important. They ask for recommenders. But the good thing with the Mastercard Foundation at the University of Edinburgh, I remember I first got the scholarship And then they asked me to talk to my recommender to send in a letter. That's one thing, one part of the reason why I got stuck with this particular university, that the application process is not long. When you have everything in 30 minutes, you're done with the application. And then they will not read a recommender before giving you, disturbing people, and then you don't get, and then you go back, and then you don't get, and then you go back. So once they are sure that, yes, we've given this person, they send the recommendation later. So what else do they ask for?
What of
They ask
passport?
passport number, because
Like,
Mastercard Foundation Scholar targets
okay.
those people who are economically disadvantaged, people who are underdeserved. So it is possible for you not to have a passport at this particular moment. But I would advise everyone who is targeting this scholarship to start to have a passport at least, or be in the process of applying and have that number. Yes, you can
That's
just write and say, this is my application number, or this is my passport number, but my passport is not yet out. It is really understandable. So these are, thank you for mentioning that. These are the important documents that you should have: passports, and then your degree uh, certificates, certified ones, not just a certificate you've printed from maybe your portal that is not stamped. They want certified copies of your degrees. They don't want a lot. And then the biggest percentage is the statement of purpose or motivation later.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
Because
Yeah,
others, anyone else can have them, but this is what makes you unique in your application.
true, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people are looking towards that statement of purpose part, and we are finally there. So, guys, you want to listen up to how should your Mastercard Foundation Scholarship SOP look like, sound like, be structured like?
Okay, that's a big one. First of all, just like the way I said, you have to be you when you're writing. You know, the way you're talking, that's how you should write. Everything, the way you bring it out, the way you present it, please write that way. Don't just uh, put, I'm applying for the Dear AI, I'm applying for the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship at the University of Edinburgh. Uh, Attached is my CV and my grades. Please make for me a statement of purpose. My dear, if you don't want to put in the efforts, get ready for rejections.
Hmm.
Sit down, write. But how are you writing? We all have stories that are motivating us to write this or to apply. We all have stories that are motivating us to apply for the program that we want to apply to. For example, there is a certain scholar who got a master's in public health at the University of British Columbia. I was
Oh,
reading her, yes, I was reading her essay, and what touched me most, she was like, she noticed people dying in her community due to health issues, which can be solved. But now she was looking for more knowledge from this program such that she goes back and changes her community. That is a story attached to the personal statement. Don't just start by saying, I'm applying for this program because this program will give me qualification. And then, honestly, you can start saying, deep down in Oyo State, as a 9-year old, I was maybe going to fetch water, and then I noticed a woman who was, oh, sorry to say that this, but I'm now talking about people who are connected with health. I noticed a lady who was in pain, or I met a lady who was giving birth, on the what? On the roadside with no
Mm.
help, with no what. And then what the questions that came to my mind, how can I help this woman? So this motivated me to take on the healthy sector. So when I saw this program at this university, it triggered me to apply for it such that I get more knowledge on how to help such people. And
Mm.
then you're telling us why you want this program, but in a storytelling way. Not just saying, I want this program because, and then you make like five reasons under with bullet points. No, no. Whatever you're bringing out, put in a story and let the paragraphs connect. From the previous one, how does the second one connect to the first one? Have I researched about the university that I'm applying to? Have I researched about the vision and mission of the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program? What do they want and who do they want? So you can bring it in that Mastercard Foundation Scholarship uh, engages with people who have changed their community through community service. As a person, I have impacted over 45 girls, and they have gone back. Oh, this was part of my statement. I have impacted 45 girls, teenage girls who had given birth and they managed to go back to school as someone passionate about education and global challenges. This diploma and the global challenges will give me more vision and light about how to go about different issues in my community. And when I come back, I'm planning to start an organization that will be helping refugees to acquire quality education. So, what have I included? I have included statistics,
Yeah.
numbers of my impact. Don't say, I've touched lives in my community. Honestly, that's really open and wide. Be specific. And this should be under the program you're applying for. Yes, we've done a lot of things, but bring out all those community service projects that you've done and they have really impacted people, but also under the program you are applying for or under your field of work. If you are a doctor, how have you helped your community? Because this is what Mastercard is about, helping others and giving back to others, not being selfish. How have you helped people? And how many have you helped? If you've helped them, in which ways did you help them? Be specific. And then you're bringing in this part and connecting it now down to why you would want that specific university. We have two. We have the university and also the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship. These are two aspects. So in your statement of purpose, you talk about the goodness of the university. Have you researched about it? I researched about the University of Edinburgh and it was part of the first universities to open up in Scotland, somehow, somewhere. That's how I used. Being the first university to open up and it has kept its legacy, it would be a gift for me to be part of this community. Yes. So you've talked about the university, you've talked about the scholarship itself, you've given your impact in numbers. I repeat, in numbers, not just saying I've changed the district and everyone is going to school. Are you sure? In numbers. And I would advise people right now to keep their LinkedIn pages active. They will ask for your URL for your social media handle. Yes, you're talking this, but is it right? Do you have anywhere you posted it? If we clicked and checked your page, does it appear anywhere? Does it really reflect what you're saying on this application? Or you just have open to work, a photo and then open to work? Yeah. So Guys, whatever you do in the community, even if it is just finding someone and helping them lift something, they cannot do it, and you've helped someone, profile it. Profile it. Profile every single bit that you do to help. If you have all the old internships you did and you are impacting communities, this is the time to bring them out. If you have old volunteering, I volunteered with the reproductive health facility and we were just giving out condoms. We were just giving out, yes, and teaching how to use them. This was also part of my application. So every single bit that you did to impact the community, look for it just to remember and say, oh, in this year I went here and we did this. If you have photos, call your friend. Do you still have these photos? Please help me. When we were still planting trees, please help me with those photos. I need them. Yes, put them, yeah, just post one by one. Oh, in this year I'm excited that we helped people, we planted trees, and then, yeah. So when you're talking about this in the application, just go back to your LinkedIn page and look. Just go back to your Twitter or X page and look. Just go back to your Instagram and look. If they open, what will they see? Is it really what I'm talking about? Or they'll see a slay queen. Yeah, that's not bad. You can slay on your page, but also put your impacts in the community. That is what they base on. Mastercard Foundation vision and mission for the scholarship is about give back and community service. That is the biggest part. Even if you got 100 over 100 and you've not impacted any community in your application, you're most likely not to get the scholarship. Yes, you're a good student, but how have you done this? And these are the values they are instilling in their scholars. This is what they are instilling in their scholars. That's
Wow.
why they put scholarship entrepreneur funds to fund scholars who have big dreams to help others, but they don't have money. And I'm glad I've ever won that, the $5,000. That's that's uh, that's my project of helping refugees to
Wow.
get quality education. Yes. So please, I beg, if you don't have community service and engagement, you guys have NWYC in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah, NYIC.
Yes, yes, yes. I watch Nigerian movies and I see people putting on white shirts with that and then green trousers. As if it's part of community
It is.
engagement.
It is.
Yes, you're very lucky if you did that
Wow.
because it is really what they want. Community service, give back, impact in numbers. Are you authentic? Are you the one? Or you're like, oh, what else did I write? If I forget, yes, don't use AI, storytelling. And then Mastercard Foundation is more interested in underdeserved people
Hmm.
who are academically talented and economically disadvantaged. Those two words, academically talented in bold and economically disadvantaged. Those are the kinds of people they are interested in. I'm not discouraging my boys or men here, but girls, if you're there, you stand a higher chance of getting this because they really love girls because in the communities we grew up in, we were undermined. So they
Hmm.
really love girls, refugees, displaced people, um, disabled people in either any way, whether physically or not physically. As long as you're able to prove that you need this scholarship, you will get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a lot. Honestly, like I think there are two major things if I even go on to what I learned about writing the essay. The LinkedIn profile that you spoke about, that it makes me think about something I applied for. Like, and this wasn't even a scholarship. I think it was one of all these programs. And they asked me for my LinkedIn profile and
Yes.
pictures. And I realized that I didn't have any pictures. And my LinkedIn profile did not speak about any extracurricular, like, and at that point, so I was like, so to know that it even affects applying for scholarship is
Yes,
wow.
it
So
does.
guys,
And then some professors you ask for
hmm,
recommendations will not tell you, but they will just go ahead and search about you when you don't know. You just say, five people viewed your profile. Yet those are part of the people who have watched your profile and they don't approve any, or they don't even respond. And then you say, I keep on asking people for recommendation, they don't even respond. But those people have researched about you and they have seen that you're not part of the people they would recommend. Yeah.
wow.
Yes. So
Honestly, this is
online presence is very important in this scholarship application era.
wow. I
Mm.
have I myself have really learned a lot. So guys, if your LinkedIn profile is dead, in fact, even if you're not using LinkedIn, at least your Instagram, you're not showing the volunteering you've been doing. Maybe you're part of all these donation charity organizations. If they're not showing it, you might not be getting the scholarship, as painful as it sounds. But
Yes.
yeah, so don't just be doing it and be saying, "Oh, I want to be private." Don't be private.
Mm.
Post it
So
on
they're
that.
like, you want help, but how have you helped others?
Yeah,
Yes.
so post it out there. Let people be like, okay, I've been seeing this person because like I know this is actually interesting. Wow. I think this is the first time I'm hearing that for a scholarship, they actually consider your overall online presence. So your online
Yes.
presence is very important. And if you have not LinkedIn, this is your time to join it. Show your impact. Even if you just shared food during Christmas Day, put it there. Put it there. It's something.
Yeah. So these people just want likes. Oh, I only got one like. Let me delete my post.
Like,
It's not for the likes. It's you creating your profile for something bigger. Don't worry about the likes and reactions.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like you heard, no AI, be
Yeah.
authentic, give your voice in simple English. And your impact is very important. Like I think impact is a major thing. And I like what you spoke about considering the scholarship's mission and vision while writing your
Yes.
essay. I think that's something that people don't really take into consideration. Like you're writing an essay and you have not gone through what do these people actually want? What do they stand for? And
Yeah.
that's very important. So not just Mastercard, any other scholarship you're applying for, try to see what is their mission, their
Mhm.
vision. If they even have a mandate, take that into
Their
consideration.
values. Yeah.
So, wow, honestly, I've learned a lot. Guys, what are you learning from this? I'm only seeing questions. You should be learning something. Come on, put it in the chat. Let me see what you're gaining. And I think another part that I liked was the problem that you spoke about. You spoke about the lady that got it for British Columbia and how her story made sense as to why she
Yeah.
was going for that master's. So you should have a story. I think a story is very important in whatever scholarship you're applying for, especially for something like Mastercard Foundation that is very into community service. Wow. Honestly, I think right now I would consider going to apply for Mastercard Foundation again. And it also it makes sense as to why, because I know they have a partnership with the Queen's University in Canada. And
Mhm.
yeah, for entrepreneurship. So when you mentioned entrepreneurship, I'm like, oh wow. So that's why that entrepreneurship program was called Mastercard Foundation. I was like, so that means I'm a
Yes.
Mastercard Foundation scholar then.
Yes. You are. Is this the
So
gym leech?
yes, Jim Leach, exactly.
Yeah. That's Mastercard. It's about entrepreneurship and impacting the community. There you
Wow.
have it. Yeah.
So guys, you've heard about that scholarship for those of you into entrepreneurship. This is you can check out Jim Leach Foundation Scholarship. Just search it online and you'll see something on that. So there's a question here which is still into community service if the community service that the person is doing is not related to their course. So let's say, for example, the person is probably sharing food and the person did engineering. So should they still like put it in their essay? Is it worth it?
Yes, they should put it in their essay, but actually, they believe that if you saw a vision of being an engineer, you have started on this journey in your community or doing something small. You can also just say, I've been talking to fellow women to motivate them to join STEM projects to show
Mm.
that women are also capable. It doesn't have to be big. Yes, I'm the answer is yes, you can put them under your AC as long as it is an impact. It counts. But make sure you have that one impact that is connected to the program you want to do. It would make more sense why you want to do it because you've already started on it. You only need more knowledge to come and implement it better. That would be perfect.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense, big time, because you're saying you want to go for a master's in something, so you must have started something before
Yeah.
going.
Like why?
Yeah,
Why do you want to go for that?
it
Yeah.
makes a lot of
What are
sense.
you doing in your community to connect to what you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, yeah, you can put that, but of course, if you do something related to your course, it holds higher chances. Definitely, I would
Yeah.
definitely want to sponsor someone that is doing or maybe telling girls about STEM than someone that is sharing food. Unfortunately.
Yes. So the other thing is that my degree is in education, but the
Hmm.
postgraduate is the global challenges. It's okay, you can do a master's or a postgraduate in a different field as long as you're able to connect it to what you're doing right now.
Hmm.
While you're talking, how do they connect? Education is part of the global challenges first
Mm.
in the entire world. So I connected my education program to the global challenges. It is under the global challenges and it is the challenge I would like to work on. That's why I need this program.
Wow,
So you just need to make a connection.
yeah,
I'm not saying you have to do something that exactly. Maybe if you did education, then you do masters in education, then you do PhD, and you ignore. How do they connect? What are the connecting dots between those two? If you're able to explain that, you can even do a master's in entrepreneurship, yet your degree is in medicine and surgery. Yeah.
wow, wow. So the connection is very important.
Yes.
Interesting.
So they don't mind about, oh, she did education.
Yeah,
Now she's applying for this. No. As long as you're able to explain why you want it, you will get it.
a lot of sense. Wow.
Yeah.
So this person, yeah, your NYSC CDS can count. Exact CDS is called what? Community Development Service. So
Yeah.
exactly, it counts. So also one more question concerning, and this is just going back to the document a little. Did you have to submit like an education academic CV rather while applying?
A CV is required
Wow.
everywhere. Yeah. It is required everywhere. An academic, oh, there is a difference between an academic CV and a professional CV, but maybe what I could say, they are not that hard on CVs, but I would advise you to start with your education background and then followed by your community impact. Then after you bring in the professional bit later when you're applying for this Mastercard thing, because they would look at the education first. Does it match? Does the impact match? Then what are they doing right now? Or where are they working from? But they're not, yes, they are, but when it comes to, for example, the University of Edinburgh, I didn't see that affect a lot of people. But yeah, it is required.
Hmm. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So if I get this, if you want to structure your essay, you should start with, let's say, like a problem as to why you even need this, a problem as to why you're going for the masters.
Yes.
Um,
Or you can start with
yeah.
an introduction in a story way. Yeah.
Okay.
Being a 7-year-old girl in Oyo State, I witnessed this situation. And this was really heartbreaking because I lost my family members in need. And you see, you've introduced yourself, you were in Oyo State 7 years. And then this took me to requesting for a bursary at my school because I was a very bright student. So I studied for free. So in this situation, you're telling them that I didn't pay for myself, I studied for free, but still in the what statement of purpose, of which I was very specific on sciences because I wanted to become a doctor to help my community never to experience what I experienced as I was a child.
Hmm.
Yes, I've not talked about the program I want to do yet.
Yeah.
I'm introducing myself in a story way, but also giving them this idea that I actually studied for free. Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
don't I'm economically disadvantaged. I studied for free. Yeah.
Wow.
So after introducing myself, then I bring in why I want to do, connecting to the problem I started with. Now I'm connecting it on the second sentence. Why I want this. After reading the contents of this program and what they study. For example, a course unit on global environmental challenges. I saw this as a very unique program in my life that it will impact the entire community back. So when you're talking, talk in the sense of you're doing this for you and your community and country, not you. I'm doing this to go back and change my community. Yes. But now you've showed them that I went on and researched about this program and they have these course units. And I feel like this is the right program for me because these course units with this content will help me in such and such a situation in my community.
Wow.
Yes.
That that makes a lot of sense. It is
So let
actually a
someone who
story.
is reading your statement of purpose get lost in imagination. You know how you read and you're picturing
Yeah.
something? Let them read and be like, okay, let them get lost. Not just being plain. You know those plain texts that I'm applying for this scholarship because I feel like it will change my life and I will be more educated. I'm also applying because I want to get a master's. I'm also applying. That's very plain.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
And then when you give me, it would be a very good opportunity for me, for you to consider me. Thank you so much. Jesus. No, it does not work like that. So
Hmm.
incorporate storytelling and bring in what you want them to know in the statement of purpose. Yes.
Wow, interesting. I think
Yeah.
one so there's another question I wanted to ask, and this was about, you spoke about when you're talking about your impact, make sure you add numbers to it. So my
Yes.
question would be, when should that part still be like under when you're introducing yourself, or should it come when you're talking about why you're considering that program?
The introducing should be the introducing itself. It does not have to come with anything else. Introduce yourself in a story way, then bring in why you would want to do the course, and then you can bring in the impact. You can
Mm.
say, back in my community, I have changed, or I have me myself. I said, I was able to notice that young girls get pregnant at a very tender age and they get married and they don't continue with education. So in my community, I have managed to talk to the parents of 37 young girls who have already given birth, and we were able to talk to schools and earn for them bursaries and scholarships for them to go ahead for studies. One of them right now is doing her nursing course. And in this, I feel like I've started solving the global challenge that is the lack of education in my community. So I've talked about the numbers. I've talked about my success. My success is that one of these young girls is doing a nursing course already. So her life didn't stop. They have now proceeded to being nurses. So yes, impact and then successes.
Wow.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense, big time.
Hmm.
So, guys, you have heard how to write your essay, or rather your SOP. I think for Arizona State University, when I was going through it, they call it motivational essay.
Statement.
Yeah, statement, rather.
Yeah.
So you know how to do this. Your any Mastercard Foundation Scholarship that you're applying for, make sure you keep this in mind when writing your SOP.
Yeah.
And okay, someone is asking here for recommendations. I think I have a question on that. Would you advise maybe recommendations from your lecturers, or from like, if you're working in a place, then you can get from like your supervisor. So is there does it matter who you get your recommendation from, and who is best to get, like, who is it? Yeah, does it matter who you get it from?
I would say, first of all, that it goes back to what the scholarship wants. Some of
Mm.
them are very specific. They'll say, we would love two former teachers or lecturers, and then one professional recommender or current employer. Others
Mm.
would say, just give us three recommendations. So if they are not specific, I would advise you to get a former lecturer. Please, those ones, we need them in any recommendation. We need lecturers and we need professors. Those ones, we need them. Then I would also advise you to get an employer who can talk good about you. Yeah,
Mm.
not just going to someone's office. They don't know about you a lot, or they have never even written a recommendation letter to anyone. You don't know what they are going to write. They will just send them a link and then they will write and submit. Yeah. You don't know what they are going to write about you. So I would advise you to first of all talk to the person. Make sure if they would ask them to talk about, oh, who is Esther? They would say, oh, Esther. Esther, she's good at helping others, not just someone who doesn't know a lot about you. So get someone who makes sense. You can also get a colleague or a teammate. But all in all, we need the lecturer's recommender, we need the professional recommender. If you have ever been on any scholarship, we need someone on that scholarship committee to recommend you.
Ooh.
Whether it was on the school, you can go back to your high school, talk to the head teacher, such that they confirm that this person was here and they studied under a bursary or a scholarship. So we need people who are going to put value on your application, not just saying, she's good and yeah, she deserves the scholarship, submit. No, I've known Esther for 5 years, and in the 5 years I was her lecturer. I remember in her research, she researched about extraction of oils in plants, and she was a leader in her class. She could call up people, she could take on responsibilities. So I believe Esther is the right person for this scholarship. This person has put in time to recommend you, not
Mm.
just recommending you for recommending you. Yes. So, first of all, you should choose someone who will add value to your recommendation. And some people actually, they can show you what they have written about you. Yes. If you're good, if that person is good, They'll say, "Oh, Esther, this is the letter I'm going to send. Can you read through and tell me where we can adjust or not?" Others will tell you, will ask you, what aspects would you, for example, my recommender. She was like, "Yes, I'm a recommender, but I don't know what these people want. What aspects would you want me to put in your recommendation later? What
Yeah.
would you wish me to write? If you are me, how would you write about yourself?" She asked me that question. So I had to sit down and draft a recommendation letter for me. Then I sent to her. So she wrote hers basing on the aspects I would want her to include in my recommendation later. Because these people, sometimes you don't even get a chance to see what they have written about you. So if someone is good enough, they would ask you, or they would want you to add the aspects you that would add value to your application on your recommendation later. But there are also others you trust and you're like, "This lecturer, he will write, I trust what he will write. Let me disturb him. Sir, can you please, the deadline is on 17th, please." Yeah, you'll be on their offices every day. But we also need to, first of all, we need lecturers. If you have a current employer who is positive about you, please do. If you have a colleague, if they don't specify, a colleague who can say, "I've grown with Esther and I've seen her thrive when it comes to class. She has been a very brilliant girl. I've seen her help others." So, this is the person you grew up with. But you also have a teacher and you also have your boss at work or your supervisor. So, you see, you have a mixture of recommenders and they're talking about different aspects of you. So, this will add more value to your application. And you should also have recommenders who talk about at least one aspect in your statements of purpose. If you say
Hmm.
you helped or you've impacted women to increase their menstrual health, can someone testify about that in your recommendation?
Hmm.
As her lecturer, yes, I know about her project of this and this. She has done this. So you said it, someone else is saying it. So yeah, that's really a big impact and it makes sense. Yes.
Wow. Which is
Mm.
actually why that online presence is important, because if my lecturer is going through my
Yes.
page and is not seeing my volunteering opportunity, not wow. Wow.
Yes.
Honest- I think that's something I've actually not thought of. Yeah. That volunteering, if someone else can testify about it, then it's
Yes.
very solid. Wow.
Mm. Yeah.
Also, someone here is asking, can they get a sample of your winning SOP? I don't know.
Ah, let me
I,
remember when I started in September 2023. I'll check and see if I still have that. But I right now I started keeping those documents, but by that time I didn't have any motivation to keep because at this moment I was just applying for applying. Yes, so I remember I wrote down in the book. I did the hard copy first. I was not a computer girl actually, and yeah, I'm trying to embrace technology, but I'm not a computer girl, and this is the first webinar I've been to. I like writing and hiding there in writing, but not coming up and recording. Yeah, so I'm going to look for that, and if I get it, I'll send it to Esther. She will be able to share.
so guys, you heard it. And honestly, and one thing I forgot to even mention while introducing Soya was that she has helped other people get scholarships. So see, follow her on LinkedIn. Her name is there. You can search for her on LinkedIn and you should definitely follow her. She has helped a lot of people get, especially this Mastercard scholarship. So make sure you're following her so that when the next one comes, you can follow her post on how to best apply for that Mastercard Foundation Scholarship. So I think we want to go into how the interview is. I'm very interested in that, especially for how you said it was a group interview. I don't think I've ever heard of that. So I'm quite, so how is the interview like? What should people expect? How can they prepare for it?
Okay. So first of all, the interview is, you know, those people, the bad thing and the good thing about them, they don't make you feel like you're losing or you're failing. They're less smiling. Oh, yeah, sweetheart. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, what do you have to say about that? Oh, that's good. Like, that's their reaction. It's hard to know that I'm actually doing the right thing or the wrong thing. But first of all, you should come when you're confident. Even when you're not sure about what you're talking about. Yeah. Hmm. I looked at the camera like, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, you have to be confident when you come for an interview. Don't
Mm,
face this side and then look this side and then face up as if you're remembering something. And then it's also allowed to just make bullet points of what you feel like you need to talk about. Because, of course, we can forget, we all forget. Even those big presenters come with summaries of what they're going to talk about. So it's not bad to summarize what you're going to talk about. That is very fine. Other people make slides, others make just they use sticky notes and then write down and then pin them on their laptop in front to look at what they have to say. So what I want to advise is that please don't cram or don't memorize. So after this sentence, I'll say this sentence. Then after this sentence, I'll go to this sentence. And then you start practicing and then you lose a sentence and then you go back. No, summarize, yeah, and then be confident on whatever you're saying. And then in the interview, you start when you're nervous. You are nervous, whether you're ready or not ready, you are nervous. And these people give you big smiles and they would say, oh, on the interview we also have other members, 5 of them, that applied for different courses. They would also want to be Mastercard Foundation Scholars. Okay, can everyone introduce themselves? You introduce yourself to your fellow and what you applied for. And this is when you land on someone who applied for the same thing like you. Like, is she going to take or I will take? I don't know. But you have to be calm and respect others on the call. You also they have equal chances as you, so you don't have to bring out that I am better or I can be better than them. No. So you become, they just ask questions, and the questions they ask are attached to your application. People, when you apply, keep a copy of your application. Wherever you apply, download a PDF. If it is not possible, take screenshots and keep a copy of whatever you've written in the application, because that is what you're going to say in the interview. You find they have brought up the same question. Oh, Esther, I just want to know more about you. What's your background? Oh, what did you like? And then you say something totally different than what you wrote. Are you the same person? You're totally done with the interview. They might keep you, but you're off. So, so yeah, why do you want to take on this program? How will it help you? And what do you want to do in your community once you're done with this? Those are the questions they ask.
mm,
So you'd realize you wrote them on your statement of purpose. And this time round, you're saying something different from what you wrote. So that is something that will kick you off. So actually, you will kick yourself off the scholarship by being contradicting on your what you wrote and what you're saying. And then you have to be honest. with whatever you're going through or whatever is going on. Yeah, it's okay to say, in my family, we maybe we we used to only have one meal in a day because of this and this. This is the reason why I'm applying for an MC in food security, MSc in food security. You see, just get a connection, be authentic. The questions they ask you are the questions they ask to someone else. But on the panel, you have like three people. So they are sharing you. Like, oh, Esther, you have any question for her? Yeah, right. I have any question for her. So I have a question. So Esther, oh, over to you. Do you have any question for her? Yes. So you're looking at three people asking you, and then after they say, oh, fellow applicants, it is open. Do you have anything to ask Esther or to tell Esther? Yeah, someone is free to say, oh, but Esther, you said you were taking one meal in a day. So how were you able to survive? Yeah, so that's what happens. But first of all, being confident and keeping that smile on and respecting everyone's question, not undermining everyone, and showing fellow scholars that we have equal chances of taking, yeah, or fellow applicants, showing them that, yeah, it's okay. I appreciate this opportunity and I wish everyone wins. You see, wishing them well. Yeah, they would say, actually, in my email of getting the scholarship, they told me they loved my commitment, enthusiasm, and wishing others well. They are honest with feedback. Yes, they said that because me, I was smiling, listening to everyone, creating conversations, laughing. I was like, okay, whether they give me or not, I'm making fun. I'm having fun. Yeah, oh yeah, yo, how is Nigeria? I had one from Nigeria. I had one from Ghana. Yes.
Wow.
I had one from Kenya. They make sure they mix you up. Somalia, we had one. So I was like, oh, how is Somalia? Oh, you guys, we hear there are floods there. What's going on? What? Like, these guys are just noting down that, oh, Esther is good at creating conversations. She's good at being a creating friendships and cares about others. So there are a lot of factors that make you win a scholarship. You might have not answered at your best their questions, but the other aspects, how have you handled yourself? They also matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. Wow. That makes a lot of sense as to why you equip your communication would matter big time. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So someone can ask me a question on this phone. My fellow. Ah, wow. But I also have one question. Would you
hmm
be asked to like do a PowerPoint presentation for the interview or not?
I didn't do any.
Okay.
I didn't, but we heard people in our group that said, I prepared a slide, I prepared a presentation, making you feel like I didn't
Like,
prepare enough. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity. I prepared a presentation. Can I please share my screen? I'm like, okay, I'm done. People have presentations. So, yeah, people prepared and they shared, they presented like they're presenting, they're defending a dissertation or thesis, something like that. But they look at different aspects. That's what I say. And the other thing, you don't have to prepare a slide as long as you know what you're going to say. Yeah. So what I went with, first of all, I looked through my application and I read my application again. I read my application again. What did I write? I read my application and then used the sticker note, noted down things I might forget or things that may stand out when I talk about them. They're like, oh, sweetheart. I talked about like having being displaced because of floods. Uh, and this is part of a global challenge. and this affected our family. Our animals died. We lost food. We were disorganized. Oh, sweetheart, we are so sorry to hear that happened. You see, so what will I talk about that will get everyone's attention? That one I wrote down. I read my application, and I was also jolly. Like, I was nervous, but I was like, you know what? Keep that smile and talk to everyone. Yeah. So I was also jolly. I was like, yeah, yeah. And even when that lady who interviewed us came to Uganda, she was like, Sawuya, I remember you during the interview. You had that big smile, right? You're the one. Yeah. Just make them remember you. Yeah.
Wow.
Even when they're selecting, they get a lot of names, new names.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I kept that smile maybe when they're saying, this was the girl with the smile. Yeah, let us give her. Yes.
Wow. I,
Mm-hmm.
I like what you said. Like, so your application, whatever you submit, is very important because you can be questioned on it. Wow. But there's specific
Yeah.
questions from your SOP.
Uh, Actually, all of them are from SOP, but they won't say they are from SOP. They
Mm.
won't say, because if they ask about your background, you've written about it.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
ask about your impact, you've written about it. They ask about what you plan to do when you back to your country, you've written about it. So, and they have read through your application, and they have a copy as you're talking. They are opening pages. So that's what they're really asking.
Wow. I have, like right now, I think I'm actually ready to apply, honestly. Like, I have a good background. So, and these are for people because I know people here have also, they are preparing to apply, especially to like top universities. So, what do you think they can start doing now, like in preparation to applying for the scholarship?
Okay, so first of all is to look for the course program you would wish to do, and look through the previous adverts of the scholarship and the university and the eligible programs they have been sponsoring. So choose a program you would wish to do. Go research about that program at the university. How long does it take, and what do they teach under that program? So after that, you're going to write down why you would wish to do this program. But now, this, you're connecting it to a personal experience. You as a person, why would you wish to do a program? And then looking at the scholarship itself, just go to the website of that scholarship. Research about their values. What do they value? What is their mission? What is their purpose? Why are they in existence? And what is their goal? So after that, you're going to also remember, we have now a paragraph about a program and why we would wish to do it, depending on our personal experience and depending on the university itself. How good is the university, or why would you wish to go to that particular university? So you've made research about the university, you've made research about the scholarship itself. So you have yourself an introduction, you have yourself a paragraph about why you would wish to do the program, you also have yourself a paragraph why you feel like you need to be a scholar or that particular scholarship. So you have a start of statement of purpose. You have a start. So
Wow.
even when they advertise, you can just expand on what you have, but you have already started. Yeah. So what makes people panic is that we have advertised and in 2 weeks we are closing. So you have to come up with a soap, look for recommenders. I'm calling you, they're not picking. Oh, let me try this lecturer. Oh, like all that confusion and stress, you find yourself not even submitting. You've put in a lot of efforts, but you've not submitted. Why? Because you are not ready for the submission. So, first of all, get yourself 2, 3 people and ask them, please, I will apply for a scholarship. Please, I beg you, when I reach out to you, help me and recommend me. Prepare them even before, way before, such that they know that, oh, she told me. Even when they get other people to ask for recommendations, not only you, but even when they get others, they know that Esther was among the first people to ask me, so I will recommend her. Write to those people. If you can reach out to them in person, tell them, please, I'm intending to do this. And it will come up in this specific period of time. I request that when it comes up, please be my recommender. You've prepared your recommenders, you have a start of your statement of purpose, and those people who have not yet picked their transcripts, why? Why don't you have your transcript ready? Why don't you have your certificates? Yeah? You wait for them to advertise, you go, our universities, they come back tomorrow. Okay, come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. I don't know if it happens in Nigeria,
It
but
does. It happens a
yeah,
lot.
the person who is responsible is not available, so come back tomorrow. Now you need a stamp. The person with the stamp is not here. Come back tomorrow. Like that system, yeah, knowing our system and how it works, please put your documents ready, put them together, and just wait for that advert to come, and then you start. But the first thing to do is to inform your recommender even before you start an application, such that they have their time to upload a letter. Not just saying, I'm done with everything, so you're the only one remaining. Please recommend me. The deadline is tomorrow. Honestly, yeah.
Wow.
Just tell them that, oh, the application has opened and I'm going to start. Please, anytime from now, they are going to send you a link. You can even just run to that recommender part, fill in their details, let them start their process as you're also working on your process.
Hmm.
Yes. Have your documents ready. Have your passport. Have passport photos. Have a valid phone number. Tell me why they would want to reach out to you and you're not reachable. Yes, yet you're the one who submitted this phone number. You're the one who submitted this email. Yes, just be reachable. Yeah.
This is very, so guys, start preparing now. And also, I think I have a question for the recommendation letter. Must it come in before the deadline of the scholarship?
Just like I said, some scholarships will say submit,
Hmm.
but the recommendation letter should come in before the deadline of the university admission, not the scholarship,
Okay.
but the university, because the scholarship has its deadline and the university has its deadline. So
Yeah.
others can tell you before the university admission, others will say before you submit, the recommenders should have already submitted. The
Hmm.
University of Edinburgh, you first submit, they take you through the interviews and everything. Once you get the scholarship, that's when they ask for the letter. How sweet that is. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. So they are different in the way they want their recommendations. And then the other challenging bit is that you might find different applications for the scholarship and for university, and each of them want recommenders. The scholarship wants its own recommenders, and the university wants its own recommenders. And you only have two people in your life that can recommend you. So have people that you can disturb, that can accept to be disturbed when it comes to that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. Wow. So there's a question here. Is there like any word limit for the SOP or essay
It
rather?
is there when you read the application. Each one
Mm.
has its own word limit. Yeah. They write it there like 500 words or 100 words or 1,000 words. Each one has its specific word limit. You just have to be careful what they want. On the requirements, they will write it there.
Okay. And one other person, I noticed that Mastercard Scholarship usually has a theme on climate change. Therefore, is it true that your SOP must be very climate focused? Also, what if you don't have much experience in that area?
Okay, thank you so much. That's a very big question and a good one because Mastercard Foundation works with uh, contemporary issues. What is going on right now, currently, as we are speaking? What is going on in the world? We are seeing a lot of issues when it comes to climate change. Yeah, so sometimes they might not say that, but now they are changing the programs they are sponsoring at different universities. You'll find it has international development, it has entrepreneurship, it has climate change, it has environmental something. Yeah, it is all around that space to for you to solve the issues that are really going on in this particular uh, era. But if you are applying for a program that is not under climate change, you don't have to put climate change. But if you have an impact under climate change, it would be good to include it on your statement of purpose. If you have an impact under climate change, because if you task yourself to go back and research right now about the different programs that they sponsor, they are changing to more climate based programs. Right now, they are evolving to more climate change based programs. Yeah, even this one, global challenges, it's part of climate change because the University of Edinburgh is specifically for programs that are around climate change. But why, how did I connect it to my education? I told them that yes, education is also still a challenge and it's a global challenge. Like people around Africa and the world are failing to acquire quality education. So this is also a global challenge. But then you remember in my story, I said, talking about how we faced a landslide and we lost everything. So this is now the climate change bit. I made sure I tap into it because when I read about because when I read about the University of Edinburgh and the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship, they were talking more about climate change, climate change, climate change. I was like, okay, how do I also talk about what you're talking about? I brought in that my personal experience to show that yes, I also faced a problem when it comes to climate change. And what am I going to do? When I come back, I'll help refugees acquire quality education, but I will also move to schools talking more about climate change. So
Hmm.
that is what I said I'm going to do. Yes, that's a good question. Once you see what they want and where they best, please talk about what they want. Also, bring it in play. Make sure you bring it in play. Yeah. And right now they're looking at girls' education and climate change, those two aspects. That's where they are right now.
Wow. So, Debbie, I hope you got your answer to your question.
But it
Even I
also
myself.
depends on the university. The
Yeah.
University of British Columbia is more on health issues.
Hmm.
Yeah, it depends on the university. But read about what the university wants. Give them what they want. Yeah.
Wow. Actually, so now what you just spoke about just made me think it through because yeah, for every university they usually have different courses. I think for McGill University, I was seeing something about water engineering, food
Uh-huh.
engineering. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So that's their
Ah,
field that they want.
wow. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So we have like two more questions to go. But the second question would be what mistakes do you think like people make, especially from the fact that you've guided other people? What mistake do you think applicants make?
Okay. So the first mistake is not being authentic. I talked about that. Wanting to lie and lie and lie and create stories that you don't even remember when they ask you. That's a very big mistake. And then the second mistake is depending on AI to write everything for you. Recently, we had a session about how to use AI on application on the University of Edinburgh. Yeah. And then it was just to help give you ideas of how you can bring out something. Yeah. How your point can come home to fit in the statement of purpose. There we can use it, but not writing something for you. You can ask it, how I want to relate this to this. How can I bring out that point for it to be home? So the first mistake is not being authentic. The second mistake is using AI entirely to write for you, because that's academic dishonest. So, how can we give someone a scholarship who is using AI? Will you even graduate? Yeah. So, you have to use AI in the right way, because, yeah, we can't avoid it.
Wow, yeah. That's AI and authentic. Yeah. So guys, you heard it. Be authentic in your writing. Don't rely on ChatGPT or Cloud or any other one. In fact, the ones that are very specific, don't rely on them. Authenticity wins, or rather always wins, especially when it comes to scholarships. Wow. So I'm not seeing any other question. No, not seeing any other question. And our speaker, yeah, I have really taken our speaker's time big time. But I'm sure everybody you've gained a lot. I've been seeing likes coming in and comments. Thank you. So yeah, I think everyone, this is the best thing that you can watch. You can also send it out to your friends, anybody that you know wants to get a scholarship for their masters, their BSc. They need to watch this section. So I think before we end, my final question would be, what advice would you give coming or upcoming applicants as they apply during this year, next year?
Okay. So, one piece of advice would be to check where you fall. Check where you can be welcomed, not to jump on everything and start application, stop on the way, then you realize I'm not eligible, then you stop, then you start another one. First, read through the eligibility criteria. If you don't meet it, don't waste time. If you don't meet it, don't waste time. Yeah, that's my advice.
That is very important, guys, especially for people that are so much into what scholarship can I apply for. You heard that. If you don't meet it, don't bother with the scholarship. Move on to others. There's surely going to be one that you meet. As hard as it would be, because you look at one scholarship that is so nice, and I'm like, oh, I want to apply for this, and then you don't meet it. Just take it, put that effort into other scholarships, and definitely you would jackpot, or rather, live for your masters on a scholarship. So thank you so much, Soya. I really appreciate. Like, I've been looking forward to this section a lot, and people are also telling in the comments, thank you a lot. I think you're educated. If this is your first time um hearing about the scholarship, I'm sure you already know a lot about it from now. So someone is asking, what happens after masters with the scholarship? Are we expected to come back home or not?
Of course, yeah, of course. Even the university, even when you're applying for the visa, you commit that after my 2 years, I'll come back. But we've had people who get internships or who get jobs after school. So that means they get permits to stay and work. So it's not that you will come back, but when you're applying, please emphasize that you're coming back. When you're applying, show them that I only want to come, acquire the knowledge. I'll go back to my community and use the knowledge in my community. That's what they want to see. But it's not a must that you have to come back. Yeah, some people take different pathways. Others get married, get men there, and they get married, get wives, and they get married. So, yeah, just like we have different journeys. So, yeah.
So, David, that should answer your question. Of course, every scholarship demands that you come back and, in quotes, what's the word? Improve your society, improve your community. But if you get a job or maybe internship or any other thing, you don't necessarily need to come back. But still impact your community from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much again. And guys, would be shutting down. Thank you so much for joining. If you're not in the group chat, make sure you join. You can I have posted the link for Sawyer's LinkedIn there. However, if you're watching this after, you can see it in the description for this particular video. The link to the post that has her profile is there. So yeah, any final words, or would you be saying bye-bye to your attendees?
I I just wish to have more people join this community, because even after school we keep in touch. They keep sending us opportunities. They keep checking on us. Yes, they keep creating those dinners that you talked about to meet and talk about our progress and where we are. So it does not end at the scholarship. Once you've become a Mastercard scholar, you are part of the community forever, and these opportunities that come up, we are the first people to see them before others see them. So we get those opportunities first. They send us to our emails. They have officers that send opportunities to our emails. Please, those are eligible, please apply for this job or apply for this internship. Or yes, just know, yeah, I would wish everyone to test this. That's my message.
Wow. Honestly,
Yeah.
like that extra thing now. I think everybody will be looking forward to it because having that kind of wow active alumni group is worth it.
Yes.
It's highly worth it. Wow. Okay, guys. So bye. Let me get
Okay, bye. Have a lovely night.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so I've ended the YouTube. Good.